the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
It's a trap.
It actually is a trap.
It's a trap.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
To confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science. But
guess what? We got a lot to do. You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
We find that the governor on many occasions engaged in sex-based harassing conduct and conversations. The most serious was the governor's unwelcome physical contact with women, including touching intimate body parts.
so what?
One current employee, who we identify as Executive Assistant Number 1, endured repeated physical violations.
I do it with everyone, black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people, friends, strangers, people who I meet on the street.
So what?
And that is what I do every day. Science is back.
And I choose science over fiction. And so if the science is demonstrating it's doing great damage, then I don't care what it does to a small business person who's selling this stuff. If it is damaging lungs, if it's causing the kind of damage that is said, and that study's not been fully done yet, if it turns out that it is, then I would eliminate it. I would make it, I would go after it in a hard way. I would make it broader, not just for he is.
If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either a direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful.
In England, the Royal College of Physicians has apparently done a great deal of research on e-cigarettes, and they have actually found that compared to smoking cigarettes, the rate of damage from e-cigarettes is 5% of what it is from smoking traditional cigarettes. You're reducing the damage by 95%. Hey, I don't think vaping or e-cigarettes are good for you. But if you have to choose between smoking and vaping, I happen to feel that vaping is safer. I don't think vaping is good for you, but it's better than smoking.
We're going to choose science over fiction.
And FDA has not used that terminology to use the most recent estimates of youth use. I will say that I'm an epidemiologist by training, so I'm fully cognizant of the definition of an epidemic, which is unprecedented increases over what you'd expect at baseline. That said, I think and know that the science has shown a decline in the number of youth users, and that's a good thing.
The FDA today calling it a dangerous epidemic.
The FDA calls teen vaping an epidemic.
Epidemic? I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
Vaping is not as harmful as smoking. Kids are kids, and there's many, many, many reasons why they choose to do different types of things.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Hey. Howdy. And welcome to the show. I see you. I see Mallory. Mallory beat all of you in here. Mallory is here, and Steve is here, and Omasidal's here, and Michelle's here, and my very good friend Peggy is here. Peggy is here. Addie's here, and Toasty's here, and some dude named Kevin, he's in the chat room as well, and Addie. All these people are here. There's Michael Redfern is here. Hello, everybody that's here, and welcome to our Friday night show. See, I'm back to wearing the Houston Oilers hat tonight. I got my hair cut today, so I'm extremely. I got more room in the hat. But we're gonna get going here. we have stuff. We have stuff to talk about. As soon as we did the show last week over on the Rumbles, and we talked about all the different methods that the evil people have of canceling people. We have a perfect example that we're going to show later on in the Rumbles, part 2, of how they victimize and destroy people just because they don't like what they have to say. But let me go ahead and get the pointy Kevin video thing to go so that we can bring Kevin in. There's Kevin, and he's muted, and he's muted.
Is there a hum?
There is yes, there is a hum.
Hang on.
Quite loud hum.
Oh, stop your whining. Can you hear it now?
Well, now the hum is not there, but there is still a little static, but it's not so bad.
Well, it doesn't like you either. All right, so when I get warm, because I'm not feeling well, I will turn that on and you'll get over it. Oh, other than that, how are you?
When you get warm?
Did you get a haircut?
Don't you have like air conditioning or something?
I do, but now I'm in an enclosed room.
So am I.
Huh?
We have a vent. There's a vent right there. AC vent right there.
Don't start with me.
So what was your week like? Kevin?
Fair to Midland. Not great, not bad, not evil. Just stuff going on. I weed eated. These fucking pretending wanting to be HOA bastards just can't fuck with my yard now, and there you go.
You just got to get you a guy. I have a guy that just comes and does all that.
Yeah,
I have a guy.
Are you in an HOA though?
We do have an HOA, but they don't bother me.
We don't, but they pretend we are. That's all.
We do have
anyway.
One. I think it's like $50 a year. It's like super like non-intrusive.
Can you paint your fence if you like any color?
Well, we don't. I mean, in the backyard, no. The backyard faces a public street, and they do have language in the HOA that says that everybody's fence has to be uniform on that street. But otherwise, I can do anything I want. Except I'm not allowed to have like a boat parked in front of the house or anything like that. You know,
so you can't do anything you want.
Not anything, but I don't own a boat, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. But if you wanted to.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would be problematic. I'd have to store it somewhere else. But hey, Kevin, I had a very short day today at work, so I did have time to go to the local like CBD / Kratom / shop there. They have like and I picked up. I did find my Zen coffee, and they have a Zen cinnamon. So I did pick that up, and while I was there, I picked up this like Caliburn thingy. It's green. I Caliburn, and I did pick up a Smock Nord something, but they sold me the wrong coil, so I have to go back. So I couldn't set that one up tonight. But I am currently, and then the only thing they had in there that was 12 milligram was our friends over at Naked. So I have a menthol Naked strawberry pomegranate in the Nord.
Nord. Is that what I got?
No, this is not a Nord. This is a Caliburn G.
I don't know what I got, Dustin.
But it's neat because it's green and it's got like a corrugated steel texture to it. You can't really see it because it's green. But yeah, this is a Nord G or Caliburn G. This is not a Nord. This is a Caliburn. See, I did get a Nord X, but they sold me the wrong coil. Coils. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
but I do like this Caliburn G thing that I have because it's got an automatic. It's got an automatic. You suck on it and you don't have to push any buttons.
Careful now. Watch yourself. I got this from the Lord.
Addy is sending me some 12 milligram something. I saw him say something about a fruity tobacco last week, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, there you go.
But I'm still quite enjoying my green nectar over here. But I do this strawberry pomegranate thing is not bad. I would have used WS-23 instead of menthol, but that's all right.
Stop whining. You can add it. You're able.
That way, I'm participating in the local, business stuff, supporting local businesses by purchasing stuff periodically. But I primarily went for the Coffee Zen, so I could try out the Coffee Zen.
That's good.
But later on, Kevin, you're going to hear in the Twitters when we got for the tweet of the week. I do have a tweet that is pointing out that there's apparently a massive Zen shortage in the United States. That that there's an issue. But yes, Peggy, support the small shops. But the problem is like I said, this one is sort of a hybrid, like Kratom. They have Kratom. They have like a whole wall of Kratom, and you guys know I'm not a big fan of the Kratoms. I know several people that have had some very, very bad health issues based on the fact that they bought and used this Kratom stuff. So, and Jason actually did a funeral for somebody who died while they were using Kratom. So I am kind of concerned. Concerned, Kevin. But
you hear that hub?
Interestingly enough, Kevin, periodically I am still a moderator on the Facebooks for the Vaping Militia Facebook group.
Yeah, okay.
And I do moderate that so that because we get tons. This week we got something like 150 posts from some Vietnamese vape shop thing. And I had to moderate them into non-existence. But sometime today, Kevin, and I'm gonna show you some inside baseball here. This is not in the show notes because this just happened right before we went live. So I got an alert that there was a pending approval on the group, and I look. And this is the behind the scenes stuff, you guys. This is what the backside of a Facebook group looks like. Pending approvals. And there's a post from School Safe right here, Kevin. School Safe. and it is a video. So I figure let's go ahead and pull the Band-Aid right off of this.
For local schools, it's a top health concern, one that could lead to long-term health effects. According to a youth tobacco survey, 10% of high schoolers and nearly 5% of middle school students reported using e-cigarettes. And as Sarah Allen reports, that's just one reason why Robbinsdale area schools are trying to take action.
It's been a concern here at the
So the reason I'm showing this, Kevin, is because obviously this is some sort of anti-vaping propaganda, and they decided that they would try to put it in my group.
Well,
so I figured I would show the School Safe their Facebook right here on the Facebooks, on the Books of the Faces.
Oh, this won't
so
go
that
well.
maybe some people would feel obligated to go to their Facebook and sort of share, in a polite way, share some, truth on
Are they
School Safe?
But are they
Facebook
members of
page.
the group?
No, it's a public group. All posts are moderated.
Okay,
so they're not members of the group, but it is a public group, so anybody can try to post on there. Obviously, I ain't gonna let stupid stuff happen, but I you know, I'm showing this on screen for all of you to see, and I'm maybe later in a minute we might see if they have an X as well.
Yeah.
But here, let's keep going.
The school district.
Nikki Stout is on the front line of trying to stop kids from vaping.
A lot of them are using to self-medicate. A lot of anxiety, a lot of depression that seems to either be unrecognized or undiagnosed.
The substance abuse specialist with Robbinsdale area schools.
So first, I would like to congratulate them on that one bit of factual information. That many of these students are indeed self-medicating because of anxiety and stuff. I credit them for that. Let's keep going.
Does vaping as a concern due to its effects on young brains?
The adolescent brain, it's developing until the age of 25. And so we know that when there's use that's occurring before the brain has fully developed, there's a higher risk for addiction.
Okay. I know.
But it's not just the health of students that's a concern.
Obviously, putting a vape pen down the toilet, it's not going to fit.
School officials say vape pens are being flushed down toilets, causing them to clog and overflow. In one case this year, Armstrong High School had to close for a full day while repairs and cleanup took place.
So
There's also another challenge with these.
So they only had one toilet? So that one toilet got messed up, so they had to close the whole school down?
It's probably the only one they had open because of the vaping, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They probably did padlock all the other ones.
Didn't we just cover this last week in a different place?
Well, we did cover that part, but we didn't cover this, this particular video.
I'm sorry. I didn't pay attention. My brain's still developing.
Cigarettes.
If you think about traditional cigarettes and youth, the sneaking a cigarette, behind the school gym during break, because of the smell of cigarettes, it's really hard to pull it off in your home or in school. But
Kevin, what? I know that you went to school back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Well, they were.
And you did, and you admittedly did smoke at school.
Oh yeah.
And did you ever get busted for smoking at school?
I did one time, yes.
But then of the thousands of other times that you smoked at school, they didn't bust you. And the guy says it's really hard to pull off.
Right. Well, the only reason I got busted was because I was inside the school, not in the smoking area. So that was the law. That was the rule. And I still got a second session for it. But.
I mean, I used to smoke in the teacher's lounge.
Yeah, I heard about that. Usually I walk down the hall and just cupped it and kept on moving, just doing my thing between.
But apparently it's super hard to pull off at school.
With vaping, with it being relatively odor-free.
Dr. Gavin Bart at Hennepin Healthcare says.
Wait.
That's
so he says it's relatively odor-free, Kevin. But then we've seen other people say that these kids smell like candy stores, and
That's right.
So which is it? Is it that they smell like cotton
Brad
candy
and
raspberries, or
Brad and his raisin muffin vape?
Relatively odor free. I need to.
I think
to get some sort of consensus here on this propaganda stuff, Kevin.
It fits wherever they want it to fit, the way they want it to fit. That's all.
Cigarettes can more easily deliver nicotine than traditional cigarettes.
Kids in a disposable vape can carry around, the equivalent of half a carton of cigarettes.
Dr. Bart encourages parents to create.
Wait. Is it now? It's half a carton of cigarettes.
That's only 10 packs.
Oh, a carton is 10 packs.
Yeah, you're right. 5. I think the tobacco control math people have lost their fucking minds.
I mean,
they really have. It's a half a carton. You're right.
Now it's a half a carton. Again, So this is a refillable pod, Kevin, but this holds like I don't know, like 3 to 5 mils, something like that, right? Is that I could look. So and this is 12 milligram.
2 milliliter. I don't know. I can't see it.
So if I do that math, it's like 70 milligrams, right? Is that close? 5 times 12.
Sure.
60 milligrams. So how many cartons of cigarettes is 60 milligrams, Kevin?
I have no idea.
I know it's not 5.
How many cartons?
How many packs? How many cigarettes?
Man. Well, I do. See, I got to do it my way. I do about 2 to 3 a day, 2 to 3 milliliters. It lasts me about 30 days. For
now,
about 30.
I will admit, Kevin. Okay, so on the billet box, I might refill that once during the day.
Is it higher watts?
No, it's 15 milligrams or 15 watts.
15, yeah.
I vape the same regardless of what machine I vape in. It's 15 to 16 watts is the most I go. When it's 12 milligram, it's the same. I mean, I don't know what this thing doesn't have a dial. This new thing that I just bought, but it's satisfying. It's pretty cool.
Well, I've replaced, and so has Janice, approximately a carton to a carton and a half a month for more than 10 years.
And I will say that my green e-liquid, Kevin, I literally, this is so clean.
Yeah.
That I changed the cotton today, but I had not changed the cotton in like 10 days. This thing is so clean.
There you go.
The cotton is still perfectly white. The only discoloration on the cotton is right where the coil is, and it's just a little darker. Seriously, this is super clean. Even with 12 milligram in it.
Dale, it's important for them to do that. Right. 10 cartons worth of vape. Correct. But
it's a disposable. It's a single use vape. They're going to vape a whole carton or half a carton of cigarettes in one puff. I mean, because it's a disposable vape. That's it. One use. Boom,
one
done.
puff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they think. They don't realize, well, I'm going to carry this around for a week.
Because they're uneducated.
That would be the same equivalent amount of time that I would use to smoke 10 packs of cigarettes.
So once again, the children will outsmart and outthink the adults. I love that.
Yeah.
Create an environment where kids feel like they can talk about vaping without fear of punishment. Robbinsdale district staff are working on having supportive conversations too.
Where the hell is Troop? This is Minnesota garbage. Where's my Minnesota people? I know Troop is Minnesota. Where the hell are the rest of my Minnesotans? Y'all need to get on this shit right away. Safe school on Facebook. I'm telling you, you need to go bury them with science, boys and girls.
Well,
we are doing advisory lessons on it. We are doing health curriculum around it.
Now, I don't want to be ugly, boys and girls.
Did she say puff curriculum?
But this young lady has a really serious case of RBF. I'm just saying. Let's back up here. I mean, she's got a serious RBF going on.
Supportive conversations too.
We are doing advisory lessons on it. We are doing health curriculum around it.
By taking these proactive measures, schools and caregivers hope that kids are better aware of the dangers of vaping before they ever think about starting.
It boils down to we care. We want you to be healthy.
We care. We want you to do what we tell you to do. Yes, Skip is in Minnesota, but she's not in here, so I can't unleash the hounds. I need my Minnesotans.
We want you to be safe.
Sarah Allen, CCX News.
So, I showed this just because somebody had the balls to try to post this in the vaping militia. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna ban the post.
I'd approve it and let it Let it roll.
No, I don't know. Somebody.
All right,
Yeah,
for any
I'm gonna ban them.
educators, any teachers, any janitors, anybody
Here, I'm
in
gonna
the
give some feedback. Yeah,
oh,
let's
you
see.
can give feedback. Wow.
Yeah, let's see. Sorry, I couldn't approve your post full of scientific
Unscientific
inaccuracies and false ideology. Period. I will give you credit for mentioning that kids suffering from neurodiverse, I misspelled diverse, diverse conditions are self-medicating.
That should be the focus, period. Not to them, to you, but yeah.
Yeah. Nicotine, which has been proven.
Good on them for not, tasing or beating them or, peeking in the stalls. I like Dale.
Oh,
Where's Fergus when we need him? All I know is that Fergus is always trying to make friends. That's all. So to Dale's earlier point, that the one carton in the bullshit story is they have a captive audience, and they just don't care.
So I'm gonna send that to them. There we go. Confirm. There we go. Boonk. I have now completed my moderating duties at the vaping militia.
All right.
But I'm just saying, school safe might be
You're in
good
school,
place
your
for
job.
You
have one job. You call the parent. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. James?
Oh. Let's see if it was safe school or school safe.
He just.
Oh yeah, it was definitely safe school. Here's what it was.
Did Michelle tell me she was the HOA fine person?
I don't know.
She's on the fine committee. That's what it was.
We need to report that post to the HOA, Kevin. That's what we need.
That's right.
Now, we have a very good friend on X, Kevin. His name is Joseph Magera. You know Joseph Magera?
I do, sir.
I mean, I know we don't know him in real life, but we do know him on Twitter.
Very familiar with him, yes. He's in Africa?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. He's in Africa.
I get a gold star for that because there's too many people to remember where they're at.
You remember, Joseph. But anyway, this week I was doing my traditional searches for content, and I found this really nice piece from Kenya. And it says, we should not waste the opportunity to save smokers' lives. And they did the right thing. They actually put that this was sponsored by a campaign for safer alternatives.
See, right up top.
And then you scroll down, and it's written by Joseph Magero. And it says here, a remarkable 2.8 million Kenyans smoke. For many, quitting simply is not an option, with the majority who try to do so ultimately failing. As a one-time smoker myself, I struggled to give up the habit for many years, even though I knew the health risks and promised my friends and family that I'd quit. I found myself repeatedly being drawn back to cigarettes. It wasn't until a friend gave me a vape that I was able to give up cigarettes once and for all. I'm proud to say that I've been smoke-free for almost 10 years. One in every 2 long-term smokers dies from a tobacco-related disease, and it's hard to know if I would have faced the same fate had I not been able to quit. But I firmly believe I owe my life to vaping. It was my experience with vaping that led me to set up the campaign for safer alternatives, through which I am pursuing my mission to ensure smokers across Africa gain access to the best tools and policies available to help them quit. I love this guy, Kevin.
Wow. You see,
this is just some regular guy like us who is just, stepping up and saying, let's kick these cigarettes ass by giving people a safer alternative to the combustible death machines. There has been a lot of misinformation circulating in Kenya about the safety of vaping and nicotine pouches compared to cigarettes, and this has resulted in misguided proposals by our legislators. Independent research by leading global organizations such as the Royal College of Physicians and Cochrane has found that safer alternatives play an important role in reducing tobacco-related harm and helping smokers quit. In January, Cochrane published a major evidence review of 27,235 smokers. 27,235 smokers, Kevin. That is a large. That is a large pool of participants.
That's a good size pool, yeah.
Yes, which concluded that those who use vapes are more than twice as likely to quit than the ones who rely solely on behavioral support. Leading government health agencies around the world also recognize the role that vapes and nicotine pouches offer smokers a safer alternative to tobacco. The US FDA has declared that nicotine pouches will significantly reduce harm and the risk of tobacco-related disease to individual tobacco users and benefit the health of the population as a whole. That's pretty concrete right there, Kevin. Unfortunately, the findings of these respected public health organizations are being ignored by legislators in Kenya and in some cases being directly contradicted. The Ministry of Health is in the process of collecting submissions on its proposal to put graphic health warnings on nicotine pouches and vapes, which claim that they are not safe alternatives to smoking. These warnings are misleading as they do not reflect the scientific evidence that these products pose a much lower health risk than traditional tobacco products. More concerning, the warnings will have the confounding effect of deterring smokers from switching to alternatives that could save their lives. Yeah.
Hacks.
Yeah. The use of visually gruesome health warnings is typically associated with traditional cigarettes, which carry a much higher risk of harm due to the combustion of tobacco. Placing similar warnings on alternative nicotine products will create confusion and deter smokers from transitioning to these less harmful alternatives.
That's the
goal. It is widely acknowledged that it is the burning of tobacco that causes fatal disease associated with smoking, not the nicotine. In fact, the World Health Organization includes tobacco in its list of essential medicines in the form of nicotine replacement therapies like patches and gums. Meanwhile, the UK's National Health Service states although nicotine is addictive, it is relatively harmless to the health.
Yeah. You haven't shown me harm of nicotine. Nobody has. I haven't been
Nobody
community noted yet.
No,
nothing. Nobody. No, you fuckers can't do it.
It doesn't exist, Kevin. There is no. I mean, if there's any harm at all, Kevin, it would be on the same level as a cup of coffee or.
Thank you, Eddie.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got the.
I mean, I'm not saying that coffee may at somewhere on a risk perspective, on a risk
it's
continuum.
Made me.
I'll use water could be way over here at completely safe, and coffee could be right here, and bourbon could be over here, and arsenic could be way over here.
Well,
on a continuum of risk. you would assume, I mean, coffee is not completely harmless. I'm sure that there's like 0.001 harm or something. There's got to be, I mean, it's not water. But
just a minute. I'm sure you've seen this.
Uh-oh.
I gotta find it. Hang on. I've asked it.
I do know that a cup of coffee about yay high keeps me from mass murder every day. I will say that. Kenyan smokers also deserve to receive clear, unbiased, and evidence-based messaging. Let me be clear, nicotine is dependence forming, and no one should start using these products if they don't smoke. However, as vapes and pouches pose a small fraction of the risk compared to smoking, any official messaging about them should convey this. By acknowledging the significant difference in risk between cigarettes and vapes, health warnings can be tailored to reflect the reality. This does not mean downplaying the potential health effects of vapes, but rather providing a more nuanced picture. Regulations should also reflect the need for strong policies to prevent uptake by the underaged and ongoing research to monitor long-term effects. However, there should be a more sophisticated approach to risk communication. Health warnings must be grounded in science, and they should not deter smokers from switching to safer alternatives. For this reason, CASA, C-A-S-A, and the wider harm reduction community respectfully urges the Ministry of Health to reconsider its proposed graphic health warnings for alternative nicotine products. In their current form, the warnings would not only be counterproductive to our efforts to improve public health, but could also undermine the potential benefits of harm reduction strategies for the smokers in Kenya. I am amazed at our friend for this awesome piece of information, and I invite everybody to review the show notes later to read this in full, because Joseph is a very good writer and has put some graphics in here, and it has done some work. So we want to thank and congratulate Joseph Magera for getting this published in The Nation, which is a Kenyan website, news website. Good job.
Yes.
We should double check. Let me go to Joseph Magero's Twitter real quick, because this did not scroll past my feed today, Kevin.
No,
but I did
mine
find
either.
it. I did find it on my searches. So let me see if I can find where he tweeted it so that we can retweet it for him and get him some more love. Come on. Is this it? Let's double check. No. This is not his piece. I only want to retweet his piece.
Okay, so copy his piece, look on Twitter, search on Twitter that link without the extra
you know what? You're
bullshit.
not as dumb as I thought you were, Kevin.
I'm not as dumb as I look. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the link without the extra where it came from bullshit, just to the HTML, ML, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
and then it may be something that he tweeted, it may not.
Well,
But
I would assume if he wrote it that he tweeted it.
Yeah, that's the quickest way I can find links to who it may apply.
Well, that
not
didn't
always
show
though.
Anything. It didn't work.
I've found things that Skip has written that she didn't tweet yet, probably. So, yeah.
Well, another.
Did it work?
No, I didn't get Joseph's. Joseph didn't share it. Somebody else did.
Okay. Yeah.
Elvina.
Maybe he's sleeping.
Well, I would imagine that he would have shared it. I mean, he wrote the damn thing. Come on, Joseph.
Yeah.
This is how the internet works.
It may be under a different hyperlink or whatever.
Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it. He sent it from his organization.
Ah,
so let's
there
see.
you go. There you go.
Let's go there.
You should tag Jitali or whatever his genital boy there, whatever his name is.
Let us repost this with a quote. Except I can't spell amazing.
AMA.
Well, I did. I just for some reason, if depending on where my keyboard is positioned and my knee is positioned, it doesn't get signal to the because it's Bluetooth, and every once in a while it doesn't do. It skips certain letters.
That's what explains my silly ass tweets sometimes. Typos stand.
See, we just did it again.
If I catch it when I hit send, I'll delete it and redo it. If I don't catch it and I see it later, they stand. I don't care. I don't delete tweets unless I'm rewording it usually.
I haven't used clean nicotine in a while, so I'm gonna use clean nicotine there, Kevin. Post.
Do.
Post. There we go. Bow. Let's get our brother from Africa, Joseph, some love.
I gotta find out where you're. There we go. All right. Ba-bam.
So we started in Africa, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Well, we actually started in Minnesota. Then we went to Africa. Now we're going to Florida.
Oh, I like Florida.
We're going to Florida. Afar. Well, yeah, we don't want to, but Florida man Nick Orlando,
the Nick father,
Governor DeSantis ensures new law protects Florida's vaping community. So this is from guest author.
Cue porn music.
Nick Orlando. It says here, DeSantis' amendment ensures that all vape products will be available for purchase in the state as long as products are not marketed to minors. Well, those guys that they work all day underground in the mines, and they come out, and you guys won't even sell them a vape. That hurts. All those guys that are digging up that coal to help you, and you're treating them poorly. In Florida and across the country, a growing number of former adult smokers are making the conscious decision to switch to less harmful, risk-reduced products.
Wait, Patrick, does that mean that adults are choosing to do something that's less harmful to themselves than other things?
Well, they're making the conscious decision to switch to less harmful, reduced-risk products, Kevin. So that sounds like they're making a choice.
Holy shit. Adults, mind you, and the governor has decided not to nanny state the Floridians that I do love and enjoy speaking to and looking at them when they're in pools, Nick.
I don't want to see Nick in a pool. No, especially with his shirt off. No,
so sexy.
No, I just imagine that he's got like a caveman fur lined back. For some reason, I just he doesn't have any hair on his head. I just think it's all migrated back. Is what I think.
Watch, he's gonna come in here in a minute.
Yeah. These harm reduction products offer smokers who are struggling to quit an alternative to combustible tobacco that can help them kick their smoking habit and potentially improve public health. For that reason, the Florida Smoke Free Association is grateful to Governor Ron DeSantis for amending a bill that he signed into law, cracking down on the sale of vapes to minors and continuing to allow the sale of vape products to responsible adults seeking an alternative to smoking. Originally, the new law, HB 1007, would have banned the sale of any vape products that had not yet received approval from the U.S. FDA. That would have limited Sunshine State vape shop owners and proprietors to sell just 23 vape products, all tobacco flavored and sold by just a handful of companies. Thankfully, DeSantis' amendment ensures that all vape products will be available for purchase in the state as long as products are not marketed to minors. Now, that's my question, though, Kevin, is how do you define
Come on.
what is marketed to a kid and what isn't marketed to a kid? I mean, I went to a vape shop today, Kevin. Here, look, I have a bag. I have everything in a bag. I have everything that I purchased in a bag. Okay, so this is the box. This is the box that the Caliburn came in. It came in this box. This thing that I'm holding in my hand,
questionable already
because it's green, came in a black box with the word Caliburn G on the front. Okay, so then I bought a smock product that I can't use because they sold me the wrong coils. But this is what it looks like. There's no cartoon characters on this at all, right? And I bought sundry other boxes of coils and things that I did buy the right pods, but the wrong coils. But anyway,
this is a light bulb. Now you may ask yourself, what do you mean, Kev? Well, this could be marketed to children because it brightens their fucking day. It's all subjective. Fuck off. All this fucking.
And I did buy this liquid here that's from our friend Wee at Naked.
All right. I'll bring it into the screen.
Words,
bring it right straight up.
It just has words on it. As long as I don't show a website link, I should be safe. So this is what the product looks like. There's no cartoon characters on that, but some person in the AG's office could say, well, that says strawberry palm. And there's a juice that they sell at the store in the kids aisle that says strawberry pomegranate. It's close enough that you could say that.
Well, then I would ask, as an attorney, I would say, show me some video of children going straight to that aisle and picking that shit out and running up to the counter and purchasing it. Would you please, at the grocery store with that pomegranate? Fuck off.
I'm just concerned that and I don't know. It could actually define in the bill that it must have some sort of kiddie branding to qualify for that category. But I'm just concerned.
Well, if it had the Truth Initiative logo on it, then I would think that would probably help it. Or maybe tobacco-free kids. Yeah. Those would be marketed to children directly.
So, okay, so it says here, these products must go through a rules committee prior to being placed on a do not sell list. The list must be created by October 1st of 2024 and be completed by January 1st of 2025. Additionally, refillable vaping devices and e-liquids will not be impacted by this legislation. So it's mostly just the disposables. Additionally, refillable vaping devices. Oh, I already read that. This update to the law makes it much more palatable for adult vapors, vape store owners, and the entire vaping community, while still ensuring reasonable regulations that help bad actors or to keep bad actors in line and prevent minors from accessing vaping products. In its original form, HB 1007 represents a larger nationwide push by certain companies to force the passage of state legislation that would limit the sale of vapes to just the products owned by the tobacco industry itself. This is a blatant attempt to control market share and force out competition, and ultimately is bad for current smokers who deserve more and often less harmful choices at the counter. In some instances, these companies have deployed hyperbolic rhetoric I don't think Nick actually wrote this, Kevin.
He can say hyperbolic.
I think his wife wrote this. Because it does use the words like hyperbolic rhetoric, and I love Nick, but I don't really he may have Grammarly on his word processor, which will, if you highlight a paragraph and say make this sound fancy, it will rewrite it and make it sound fancy. So he may have done that.
Yeah. All right.
That's possible. Love you, Nick.
Send all your hate mail to him, Nick.
Yeah. Thankfully, DeSantis did not fall for it and followed the facts. Thank God I don't have to do another veto video. I'm just saying.
Isn't this like the 67th bill or something or whatever that they've? Yeah.
They're right there with Texas. Texas at one point had the most bills defeated. And
Peggy, you and they. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Peggy is right. Dolores is awesome. They've been
married like 35 years now or something.
I don't know. She's a saint. She really is.
Well, yeah, of course.
Just saying. Just saying.
Well, kids, flavors, marketing. Let's see. There's a
great
law.
news. The great news is that Florida circumvented their bullshit law by having a decent governor who has been. Well, I have to, and I will give Nick credit for this. Nick has been on the ball. He's been in the Capitol. He's been face to face with these people. He's been very proactive and reactive. He has not balked. He has, he said, I will do anything. Who thought that having a fucking, 2 8-hour Zoom sessions several years ago would create a massive video
6-hour drives
that
he does.
I'm just talking about, sitting in a damn Zoom room.
The Zoom thing. Yeah.
And getting vapors from across the country to come in and ask him to please veto that bill.
Yeah.
I would have to say most governors wouldn't have even cared if we'd have done that for any other state. I don't know that anybody that he would have cared, that any governor would have cared. I don't think Gretchen Whitmer would have cared if we approached her with ended up being like a 30-minute video of hundreds of vapors just saying veto SB whatever 10. I can't remember the name of the bill anymore. Over and over and over and over and over again. And, having another video of people holding up signs, veto, blah, 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 and then posting it all over social media, sending a copy in addition to all of the hard side, financial data that Florida Smoke Free was able to produce, that DeSantis actually wrote a letter and read it, saying
I see is Bill 810. I don't know if that was it or not. That was 2020. So
no, it was SB 10 something. But yeah, we have to give Florida Smoke Free credit. They kicked ass. Yeah. And they have been kicking ass, and it's just because there's a handful of kick-ass people in Florida that are willing to scream at the top of their lungs when it's necessary. So, kudos to Nick, even though I like to pick on Nick about his writing and whatever.
Yeah.
I just like to pick on Nick in general. There are some people that are just magnets for being messed with. Now, Kevin, you sent a link to something from the Daily Pouch.
Yeah.
Now, normally, Kevin, I do not like to share industry, stuff that's published by industry, but this is not our industry. This is the pouch industry. So maybe they're not as bullshit as ours is sometimes. So
it's a twofold reason I gave it. I don't have to explain it to you.
Yes, I know. Kevin can't afford a real fan that plugs into the wall, that he has to use one that plugs into his damn computer and causes static. Jason, leave him alone.
Oh, it's sitting on the floor, stop whining.
But it's still causing static because there's an unshielded connection somewhere in that fan.
Earlier,
computer.
I expressed the fact that I didn't care, and now it's here. There you go. So, I did do this for two reasons. One, we don't talk
like
enough.
the AI artwork, Kevin.
I can't
really
help your criticism, sir. I didn't make it. So
I mean,
we
no,
do
but,
not.
let's before we get to that, look at the eyes. Look at the eye. Look at this dude's eyes. Look at this chick's eyes. I mean, this is definitely really bad AI artwork. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's just keep going.
Two reasons. One, we don't cover it enough, in my opinion. We cover it and we walk away. We don't really give it any time. And two, because it needs to be seen, in my opinion. That's all. It's okay.
Cover what?
Hey, Steve.
What don't we cover enough, Kevin?
The pouch, the snooze, we're
dude. I hold a can of fucking snooze up or a can of.
I said not enough. Don't take it personally. Calm down. Just relax.
Anyway, new study highlights the impact of nicotine pouches and e-cigarettes on smokers. The Nicotine and Tobacco Research Journal recently published a pilot study examining how access to alternative nicotine products, such as nicotine pouches like this one, and e-cigarettes like this one that you can't see because it's green, affects smokers. The study specifically focused on individuals with low socioeconomic status, a demographic often overlooked in discussions about creating a smoke-free society. Kevin, is there a conclusion? Can I just go down to
you can go
things
down
up?
if you like. That's fine. I don't care.
Well, first I'll read the criteria for participants. It says adults who had smoked daily for at least 6 months, earning less than 250% of the federal poverty level, no intention of quitting smoking within the next 30 days. Those are the inclusion criteria for this study. And they were divided into 3 groups: 5% nicotine, e-cigarette users with 5% nicotine. That's pretty high. Nicotine pouch users, 4 milligram nicotine. Well, these are actually 3. These were only available in 3 and 6, Kevin.
Let's see.
And a control group, no alternative nicotine products at all. After 8-week period, researchers monitored the daily cigarette consumption of participants. So now let's just scroll down here.
Yeah.
More horrible, bad AI artwork with the creepy eyes. Look at this guy over here. His eyes look weird.
Look at the buildings in the background.
I get that, Kevin, but that's really bad. Okay. This trial underscores the importance of considering socioeconomic factors in smoking harm reduction efforts. The focus should be on protecting the health of working people rather than succumbing to the misplaced fears of a vocal minority. It's crucial to prioritize the well-being of all smokers, regardless of their socioeconomic status.
Bam.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been talking about disparities of...
And there you go. Because common people need common suggestions and results.
So what's, really funny, Kevin?
Yeah.
This week, my wife is in nurse practitioner school and had to write an essay on whether healthcare should be considered.
Are you married again? Is she back? Oh, okay.
No, she's still in the Philippines.
Oh,
but she is able. It's an online class, so she's able to do it online.
Yeah.
But the essay topic this week was, should healthcare be considered a right in America?
Ooh.
So there were 5 economic philosophies that were were in the textbook. One of them was Marxist social construct sort of thing. One was this social justice thing. There were 5 of them. Libertarianism was one of them, and
Okay.
so anyway, you had to write an essay, a 200 or 350 word essay with academic sources. So you had to, you had on whether healthcare should be a considered a right in America. So
well,
and this is this class is the title of this class is Social Justice in Healthcare.
Okay.
So my wife is like, none of the word capitalist is not in here anywhere. There was no, and I'm like, well,
we don't want to say.
I said, do you want to get an A in this class? And she said, yes. I said, well, then you just read the textbook, and during the course of this class, the whatever the textbook says is 100% correct, and just write your essay based on the text. You can have your own personal opinion, but do not express that personal opinion. I said, because even the libertarian bullshit that they have in there is not true libertarianism, because the libertarian, and if I have Ayn Rand, I have video of her specifically saying that I could play. It's a really long video of her specifically saying that no man is, has the right to the benefits of someone else's labor.
Yeah.
So, I said, for the purposes of this, whatever they say is libertarian, go ahead. Just pretend like that's true, because
there it is.
In libertarianism, nobody deserves your labor for free. You have the right to set the price for your work.
Right.
I said, but if any of these, all of these are socialistic ideas, because somebody has to pay for it. There's no such thing as free.
No, there's not.
I said, now, our current health system is not perfect. I promise you it's not perfect. And things are way more expensive than they should be. However, is it my responsibility as a taxpayer to pay for the health care of someone else? That's the general question. And, that's up to you. You can have an opinion on that topic.
Yeah.
But I promise you, they kept mentioning like the social health systems in other countries as examples of success. And I said, I can produce scientific, I can produce journal articles published that show that the UK's health system is a shambles, that Canada's health system is in shambles, that Germany, Japan, all of these one-payer systems are all in shambles, because nobody is motivated to be better than average, because there's no motivation for anybody to excel.
Right.
So
we'll just fix you as you go.
Oh my God, that was horrible, Kevin. If you just let it run and you quit muting yourself, because when you mute yourself, the static is like backing up, and then when you come on, it's like. So I'd rather have just the little constant in the background than the.
Oh, here, I'll turn it off for a minute. See how that works.
Well, it'll disappear immediately as soon as you turn it off.
Well,
you need to get you a wall wart.
There. A what?
A wall wart, a thing that has a USB plug that you plug into the wall instead of plugging it into your computer.
A wall wart.
That's
All right.
What it's called.
I believe you.
That's what it's called.
I believe you. There, it should be gone.
It is gone. It disappeared immediately as soon as you turn it off. I'm telling you that there's an unshielded connection in that fan that's causing that static. Oh, Kevin.
It'll be okay. Calm down. Everybody. Michelle. shall.
Here, let me open this thing here. Let me get this. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we got Kevin's fan going in the background, and we have this wonderful news piece from the New York Post, which is Kevin's favorite news source.
Is it?
And the headline says,
"Are you sure?
I was addicted to vaping until doc said it was frying my lungs like hot chicken."
Hot chicken. What? Hey, Bob. What haven't we done yet? Fried chicken. Good one. Whoever wrote this is a fucking monkey.
Chicken.
What's the name of the dumbass that wrote this? Say it out loud.
Tracy Schwartz.
Tracy, you are a dumbass.
So it says here, a 30-year-old Tennessee mom who picked up vaping early in the COVID-19 pandemic claims the habit nearly killed her, with the doctor reportedly saying it was frying her lungs like hot chicken. Hannah Roth began to hear a popping sound in her lungs last month, and she developed a fever of 104. Scans in the emergency room reportedly revealed lungs similar to someone in their 80s or a decades-long smoker. The doctor came in and showed me my x-ray and said, "Do you vape?" And he said, "That's why you have pneumonia." He told me that if I kept on vaping, then I was going to die pretty much. He took my vape out of my purse and threw it in the trash can. The mom of 2 boys said that she had never smoked before, but started vaping 4 years ago amid stressful pandemic lockdowns. Soon she was vaping every hour of the day as her addiction grew. So she was waking up every hour in the middle of the night to
No, wait. My lungs are popping. I'm in the hospital. Why would I be bringing my vape in so they could throw it in the trash? But anyway,
it's in my purse. Yeah, I mean this
smells
I'm
like
sorry.
chicken.
I mean, of course it's a ginger. I mean, look, there she is right there. You know, so. Then last month, Roth was at her receptionist job when she started getting chills. She had a fever and heard a popping sound when she took a breath.
Oh my God!
I thought I may have bronchitis because my chest hurt
butt
really
plug
bad.
coming out of your ass.
That went on for a few days, and then I went to the doctor, and they said I had the flu and gave me medicine. She said her mom urged her to go to hospital, where an X-ray reportedly showed an obstruction in her right lung. It looks like a tree with branches. It's called tree budding, and it's basically the deterioration of your lung, Roth shared. It's not supposed to happen unless you're a heavy smoker.
Well, does it?
I mean, there's some stuff there, Kevin, but
yeah,
I mean, yeah, let me keep going here. It definitely doesn't look like hot chicken. Ross said she had no idea that was a potential side effect of vaping, which is the act of using a handheld device to inhale vapor that contains nicotine. Other side effects include dry mouth and throat, shortness of breath, headaches, and nausea. Let me go back up here. Now, there's a picture of her. Oh, she did. Okay, it doesn't. Now, Kevin, if you were to look at this blonde chick's eyes right here,
yeah,
and the you would look at this and go, okay, what is she on? Because she has eyes like two little slits.
Well,
she probably lives in a trailer park right over a natural gas vent or something. But I mean, this does not look excessively serious to me.
It doesn't?
No. I mean, there's some stuff here. Don't get me wrong; these are not perfectly clear, but
they might be hers. They might not.
I wouldn't. Well, that's true too. Yeah.
It's all made up bullshit. I don't even know how to believe it.
Anyway, with her 7 and 10-year-old sons in mind, Roth said she had refused to touch a vape since the doctor. Okay, Kevin.
What?
She refused to touch a vape as soon as the doctor told her that this was bad.
Well, the doctor
she hasn't vaped. She hasn't vaped since. But yet, this is more addictive than heroin.
Hit my dog. Oh, it is more addictive than heroin, unless your doctor throws it in the trash. Then you go, "Whoa, fuck."
I guess people can just stop heroin.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, did you see this? Dabney Coleman died today. Did you see that?
Oh, well,
yeah. 92 years old.
Well,
he was in this. He was in 9 to 5. I mean, that's what this says. But he was in a movie called Cloak and Dagger when I was a kid, and he was like a super spy in that. I love that movie.
War Games.
That was like the only movie that I can remember that he was in that he was the good guy.
He was in War Games, wasn't he? Wasn't that him?
He was in War Games too, yes, but he wasn't a good guy. I mean, he wasn't the villain, but he was not a nice person. Yeah.
He's been in shitloads, probably. Anyway,
he's been in a lot of movies. He was always one of the supporting character actor type guy. The doctor said if I stop vaping, my lungs will be able to heal as long as I don't vape anymore.
So it's reversible.
So again, it's not permanent damage like cigarettes, Kevin.
Well, I thought it was frying it like chicken, and then you can't unfry a fucking chicken, can you? Jason, can you unfry a chicken?
I don't imagine you can resurrect a chicken. Yeah.
Well, he deals in that.
But she was able. Oh, hello. I got some side boob here, Kevin. That's
unfry a chicken. Anybody that can do that, let me know.
So, our show's resident mortician says that chicken cannot be unfried.
I didn't think it could. If her lungs fried like chicken, then she must not be a pleasant person to be around unless you like the smell of fried chicken, and then be great. But if it can be reversed, then you'd have to get rid of her. Well, you don't smell like fried chicken any longer, baby. Go on about yourself. Have a good day.
I'm quite concerned though that we now have a doctor saying that if you quit, your lungs will return back to like zero.
Sure.
And apparently that means that they're not nearly as harmful as cigarettes, because that's irreversible harm, apparently.
I imagine it. I've never heard anybody reversing COPD. It may stay the same.
I've had some people that have improved with COPD.
Improved, but never goes away.
Yes.
Right?
No.
Yeah. All right. Close enough for my
But they have gone from being oxygen dependent 24 hours to oxygen dependent only at night.
Right. And now I'm hungry. You bring up chicken. Why didn't you just order me some
chicken?
I don't understand.
I actually I ordered Chinese food tonight.
I'm going to unfry one. I want to try to unfry one.
I had some beef and mushrooms and some beef lo mein.
Yeah.
Good stuff right there. But
her
here,
lungs
Kevin,
improved.
Did you know that this was Mental Health Awareness Week, Kevin?
I did.
But it says here, Mental Health Awareness Week is vaping harming the minds of our kids? Professor Robert Thomas looks at the research. Oh shit. Well, never mind.
Well, let's see how.
Earlier on my phone, this was not a. Let's see if I can find a different venue for this piece. Because I read it earlier and it was not behind a paywall. Which is depressing that suddenly it is now behind a paywall. Well, that sucks. Well, never mind. Because it is now behind a paywall, and I cannot read that. But Omicidal said that it was bullshit anyway, so.
Well, then I believe that.
Yeah, I always believe Omicidal. He pays me $5 a month, so.
Let's see.
He gets to be the determining factor here. But I do have a video here that is not behind a paywall. I just have to wait for a commercial to get done.
Yeah, oh boy.
There we go. Now let me full screen this, and let's present this. Share screen. There we go. Ba-blam. This is from Alabama. Woo! Roll Tide.
Oh.
New this morning, local doctors are warning parents of the dangers that vapes can pose to their children.
So new research shows residue left behind can cause long-term
residue, Kevin.
Bullshit.
I think somebody did mention a while ago that the secondhand and third-hand vaping.
Yeah, I saw that.
You remember that?
Health issues in young children. Our Kyra Purvis is live at Children's of Alabama. Kyra, experts have suggestions for parents who vape.
Yes, Stoney, tobacco specialists say a parent should not vape in the same room or car with their child.
Tobacco specialist, Kevin.
It's just all bullshit. Yeah.
This protects them from that second or third-hand exposure. Now,
third-hand exposure, Kevin.
Now, studies show the younger a child is, the more delicate and vulnerable that child's lungs are. This vulnerability extends for children with asthma, allergies, and cystic fibrosis. Robin Gurr.
Now, I would say, Kevin, if I had a kid that had cystic fibrosis, diagnosed cystic fibrosis, I probably would just choose not to vape around them because they're very susceptible to infections and
I gotcha.
Very sensitive, and it is a very debilitating disease. So I probably would not vape in front of them because of that. Now B, I wouldn't hide in front of my kids or away from my, I wouldn't hide from my kids what I do, because that again would foster a sort of distrust between parent and child. Wouldn't you want to have an open communication with your child and just say, hey, this is something that daddy does, or in your case, this is something that great grandpa does. So it's not,
Great grandpa. Well, he's 5, so I'm 15 years away from that. Oh my God.
I'm just saying, I myself would rather have an open communication with the child where you could, don't do it right in front of them, blowing in their face or anything, but I wouldn't hide from my kid that I was doing this.
No.
And I would be very instructive when I did it and say, this is not for you. And if I catch you doing this, I'm going to beat your ass.
We're going old school.
Well, hey, Kevin, when you were a kid, if your daddy caught you smoking a cigarette,
yeah,
what would you do? What would he have done?
Well, what he did was he took me to the store that I purchased them at, threatened the cashier within an inch of her life, took me to the drugstore, bought a rum-soaked cigar, sat me down and said, you will inhale every single puff. If it goes out, you will smoke another whole one. I completed that one down to about a half an inch. And then I puked my guts out, and then I went to a ball game. That's what happened the first time. If you really needed to know.
They just made me smoke a whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, I can still taste that cigar. I can still taste it.
I like rum. I would have been like, okay, sure.
Well, I'm sure it was the cheapest one he could buy, but it kind of, oof. But it didn't deter me. It didn't. That's the thing. It didn't deter me. So yeah.
I was just smelling the coffee's
That's
in.
what would happen, though.
The coffee's in.
That's the short version.
There's a tobacco treatment specialist with children says the particles released from vapes are ultra fine.
Particles!
And can hover in the air for an hour after smoking.
Okay, boys and girls.
Patrick.
We had, let me finish. Yeah. We had a particle physicist on this show a long time ago who had authored a study discussing the behavior of our vapor and what occurs with the particles and the particulates of our vapor, and that they don't linger up here. They flow down to the floor fairly quickly.
Heat rises.
Because the particles of the vapor are heavier than air. So they do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just, particle physicist. Just saying. Now, what were you saying, Kevin?
Well, I don't remember who. I think it was Jason. Jason said the reporter's out to the hospital. So I've asked the Pediatric Bullshit Society here in the United States, among other people, umpteen times about nicotine addiction itself, and what are the stats and the figures and the outcomes of those children who are so addicted to nicotine, and what have they done to alleviate that. And now I ask the same question about this. How many children have been treated for second and third hand exposure, and what are the actual dangers? Now, I understand when you say cystic fibrosis, that's quite a possibility. I also understand that we're all adults with our children doing what
Kevin,
we do. Yeah.
Would you actually believe any statistic that they provided to you?
They don't have any. That's why I'm asking.
No, Kevin. They could quite easily provide you with a statistic. Would you believe it?
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Because
they're going to put
any
child that is hospitalized or seeks medical condition for exposure to any airborne particulates.
Yeah, true.
In that list.
But
if there was a person that vaped in that place 10 months ago, they're going to include that person on the list. So yes, Kevin, they would and could produce a statistic for you if they cared about what you asked.
Well, there you go.
Don't believe that they can't do it, because they can. The problem is that, it's just like when you see a statistic about all the people that die of smoking related conditions. Yeah. They have a list of conditions that they say are smoking related, and anyone that has those conditions, whether it's from eating too many, strips of bacon
or chicken,
and has congestive heart failure, or fried chicken, is going to be included on the list, regardless of, pre-existing conditions or any of that problem. They have, Kevin, it's super easy to produce statistics.
So, right, I understand that. And it's a non-answerable question. They're not going to answer me. They don't give a shit about Kev. So tonight I used ant spray in my home, and I thought, geez, that seems toxic. But I'm glad Logan's not here to breathe that.
Well, no.
But at the same time,
there are many health conditions that children can develop from being around household chemicals. There's a very nasty condition called Kobayashi syndrome that's from carpet shampoo.
Okay, so right,
you shampoo the carpet, and the kid gets on the carpet any time within the next 48 hours, and they can develop this.
Jeremy was allergic to our whatever the fuck powder shit. I've also gone to the candle / air freshener / whatever rabbit hole too, and those are just as bad.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're not just as, they're probably way worse.
Wait until you marry a woman like my wife, who has to have one of those plug-ins in every plug-in in the house with a different with a different smell in each one, even ones that are 10 feet apart.
Your cause of death is going to be air fresheners, right? There you go.
Well, no, they're going to say I died from vaping. But anyway, let's keep going here.
I want some chicken.
If a child consistently inhales these particles, they're left at an increased risk for serious.
What the hell is consistently?
Well, I guess I could sit Logan next to me.
In what concentrations? Consistently in what concentrations?
It's a fifth-hand thing, you know.
Yes, lung infections.
On furniture or on skin. Let's say a mom or dad is vaping and that residue ends up in their hair and on their skin. And then if they're holding or cuddling their newborn, we do see in some of this early research that can be harmful to.
Now, Kevin, I'm not a parent. I'm not a grandparent, but I am smart enough to know that when you have a newborn child, the doctors and the nurses explain to you, regardless of how clean or dirty you are, that before you pick up the child, you're supposed to use hand sanitizer before you pick up the child, because
just wash your hands.
Yeah, because they're brand new, and you know they have to
wash off that fucking fried
their
chicken.
environment a little bit at a time and develop resistances. I'm just saying.
Jason's making pot pie.
Also, lung development.
GERS suggests a parent to instead vape outside. Also, make sure to remove any clothes that you're wearing while vaping so those lingering particles don't come in contact with your child.
Why does mommy and daddy change their clothes 5 times a day?
Why is daddy naked vaping in the yard? Jason, put some clothes
Alabama's
pretty hillbilly, but that's more West Virginia.
Well, Jason's not out there, so.
Child. Live in Birmingham, Kyra Purvis, ABC 3340 News.
I don't need your credentials. Shut up, bitch.
It just surprises me. I mean, that is Alabama. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I got some really good friends from Bama. You're
gonna hurt yourself.
My friends from Cyclops, Cyclops Vapor was in Alabama. I love those guys. They were all awesome advocates. They, did everything that they needed to do, and it just didn't work out well for them. I mean,
I've seen a couple of closures this week.
Go out of business, and it sucks, but it is what it is. But
it's weird. A local shop I saw was hiring today.
Well, they probably were a hybrid shop. They probably were like that shop I went to today that had Kratom and CBD in front of the vape. Was really small in the window. It was like Delta 8 and
Oh, we've got vape. Yeah, we got
and
it.
way down here in the corner, vape. And I walk in, I'm like, hey, do you have nicotine pouches? And the girl's like, yeah, here, we got some Zen. I was like, oh, good. You got the coffee? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
There you go. See?
Yeah. That was the whole point of that visit. And then I ended up buying this little Caliber G thing. And I'm actually enjoying this quite a lot.
Your vape is starting to bother me. I'm getting like fifth hand vape.
You're getting like eighth hand vape through the internet. It's coming through my camera. And right. It's a good thing I have fiber, because it's
eighth hand Zen.
Yeah. Here, Kevin, let me open your mouth. Let me open my can here.
Careful now. Watch yourself. Oh, I wish I had smell-o-vision. Yeah, see. Does it smell like coffee?
It does have a faint...
Is it just black coffee?
This is dry, so you got to put it in your mouth and let it get wet for it to really activate.
Is it like black coffee, or is it sweet coffee, or
I don't know. I haven't tried one.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how you are.
I bought these specifically to put in my face when I can't vape.
Yeah.
And it's the 3, so it's the lowest nicotine, but
all right.
I just need a maintenance dose. I don't really need the full thing, but hey, Kevin,
what I thought what?
Well, finish your thought.
What I thought earlier with that article was, if I was walking into this clusterfuck of a clown show, and then I all they're talking about is vaping. What is that? I don't want to vape. And then well shit, there's other opportunities like Zen or your patches and gums if you want to do that. But
snus, I got snus as well.
Snus, yes, stuff I didn't know about. I may have been led to believe that I would have done snus had I known what it was before I found vape.
While we're on the topic, Kevin, of alternative of different things. Okay, so let me. I don't like to open the Zen can is a little bit harder to open. So this, Kevin.
What?
This is a snus.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see
Yeah.
that it's darker.
Oh yeah.
This is actually a
Yeah.
pasteurized tobacco product in a little pack. And unlike like Skull Bandit and other things, you don't put this in and spit. You don't have to spit. You can. This is actually safe for you to just let it roll down the back of your throat.
Yeah.
And this is a nicotine pouch, and it has it as you can see, color wise, it's not dark and black like the tobacco is. This is a white powder. I don't want to bust it open to show you, but it's a white powder with, it's
Well, it could be cocaine.
It is. Well, I wouldn't snort it. It probably would burn. Well, so does cocaine though. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that does. I don't know. But those are two different things.
Yes.
Neither one of them. The good thing about either one of these products is that you just allow the spit. You swallow you swallow. You don't have to spit, Kevin.
Yeah.
I know some of you are fans of spitting instead of swallowing, but
Hello. Glad you could join us.
Yeah. But hey, Kev, you know what time it is?
Whoa, you're kitty. It's got to be. It's kitty cat time. Is it?
It's time for the Vape Cats X of the Week.
Here, kitty. Here, kitty.
So this is, this you sent. This is your friend Alan Beard, Kevin.
Oh, look at Al.
Should I rub this and make this a little bit?
You could. You could. Like,
yeah, it's rubbed.
There was something about the White House.
That they did not find Zen nicotine pouches in the White House. That was a completely different white powder.
The most secure building in the whole goddamn world. They didn't know where it came from.
Well, apparently it's not the most secure building in the whole damn world. But anyway, this is Alan, and Alan says at the end here at the exposedtobacco.org news, blah blah blah. I know this is a mealy mouth guff, especially the last sentence. The vast majority of users will be former or present smokers. For whatever it's worth, I tried IQOS for a few weeks and found them to be initially very good for one or two puffs, but ultimately unsatisfying.
Yeah.
And then there's a screenshot or a picture here. It says heated tobacco products. Heated tobacco products are a relatively new tobacco product. Technically, they're not. They've been around since like the late 80s, Kevin. It's just that they, the technology that we use now is different than the technology then, but it was still a heated tobacco product. Those little Eclipse cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. I
remember those? That was a heated tobacco. Anyway, heated tobacco products are relatively new tobacco products. They use an electrical heating element to heat tobacco sticks. They may look like e-cigarettes, but HTPs contain tobacco. Each of the big four sells heated tobacco products, and all market their HTPs with implied claims of being safer than smoking cigarettes, using messages such as smoke-free and potentially reduced risk. However, evidence shows that the emissions from HTPs may be considered smoke, and that while HTPs expose users to lower levels of harmful chemicals, others are present in higher levels than cigarettes, blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, HTPs have not been proven to reduce the risk. Not according to the FDA, Kevin.
Well,
So, according to the FDA, the IQOS has been approved for a reduced exposure modified risk application approval, or they were granted marketing orders, and they were approved for their MRTP, which is a modified risk tobacco product application, based on the fact that they expose users to lower levels of deadly harmful chemicals.
I'm not actively looking, but when I see them, I'm going to try them. I think that would have been my thing instead of vaping.
Well,
actually, but
if I had found that first, as much as I love smoking, I would have jumped right. There is no doubt in my mind I would have jumped on it
Well, when
No
you
doubt
take,
in my mind.
I've taken a few different. I think I'm not positive. I think Fergus reviewed them. Paul reviewed them. Who I follow. I don't know if you guys do. He reviewed them. Not glowing reviews, but honest reviews. And I thought, well, I would try it. And
Yeah.
Al, he gets 10 points for the mealy-mouthed guff part of the comment. That's the whole point of that tweet to me. But to see him say they were initially very good and then, well, they weren't so good to him. And I appreciate that view. That's what I want to see. I want to see different things. I can't say Zyn is the shit if I've never tried it.
Greggy was in Japan.
Yeah.
And when Greggy was in Japan, he tried every different one that they had because they have entire stores in Japan.
Did you like them?
And
I don't remember seeing any of that.
Well, this was like 2-3 years ago. Like he spent like a week or 2 weeks in Japan.
Yeah.
And he, from what I understood, he dug them.
Cool. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So then I found this piece.
Meow.
On the tweets of the
on
week.
The Twitters.
For the Vape Cats tweet of the week.
Meow.
And this is John J. Edwards III, and he is tweeting that Zyn, a hit nicotine pouch made by Philip Morris, is out of stock with multiple retailers who ship nationwide. And there's an article from Bloomberg that he's linking. But I tried to read this earlier. Oh, yeah, it's behind a paywall. So
when did we cover that? About 3 months ago, they were whoever the fucktard is in Congress was bitching about Zyn, and I said, well, the free advertising is going to work, and now look what happened.
Oh, yeah.
What did we say? What did we predict? Out of stock.
Predict. Yeah. So Florida, New Jersey, and New York are having problems, and the U.S. volumes of the product have jumped 80% in just the first quarter of this year. So I can actually read part of this. Zyn, a hit nicotine pouch made by Philip Morris, is out of stock with multiple retailers who ship nationwide, and some wholesalers are also reporting that they're having difficulty getting the product. The scarcity comes after Philip Morris International, which also sells Marlboro cigarettes outside of the U.S., reported U.S. volume the nicotine pouches rocketed up 80% in the first quarter. There's also a lawsuit about the pouch's nicotine content and growing criticism of market practices, raising concern. There could be a regulatory crackdown on the popular cigarette alternative. Zyn is an important source of growth for Philip Morris as cigarette smoking declines and the vape industry is increasingly dominant, blah, blah, blah.
Isn't that neat? When they said the epidemic was occurring that didn't, and then the increase in usage of underage kids who could outsmart the adults could get those things, it just went poof. And then now, Juul being the primary victim, if you will, now their friends over at Marlboro or whoever they are, that now PM Philip Morris, they've seen an increase in sales. Isn't that wonderful that they can help their friends without, wink, wink, helping their friends because they don't like them? Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Why is Dale? I think I've seen Dale like 3 times now type in "eat a dick" in the. Who is he telling to eat a dick? I mean,
I haven't seen that.
Several times now I've looked up and I've seen him say "eat a dick." I don't know if it's the same "eat a dick," but I'm Dale.
I have not seen that. I don't see it. I saw him say he had a lemon pepper snooze.
Yeah.
That would go good with fried chicken.
No, he only said it once. It must have been the same "eat a dick" that I saw then.
Oh, Durbin. Yeah, I bet he was meaning Durbin, but I still didn't see it anyway.
Yeah. So Eva. She's sharing on X that her cardiologist is happy with how she's doing. He said he doesn't understand what the nicotine patch is doing, but obviously it's working, and none of that sounds harmful to you. So keep on keeping on. See you in 6 months. Yes, thank you at Nicotine Test. So apparently, Eva has had a heart condition or is having trouble, and somehow decided to use a nicotine patch, and the doctor is amazed.
Look at that.
Amazed at how it's helping her. So it is beneficial to her to have nicotine. So good for you,
damn.
Eva.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then Martin,
Beautiful.
our friend at Nanny Free State.
That's right.
He says he's written at the tobaccoharmreduction.net on how there will always be individuals who choose to consume nicotine. The trick is to shift towards reducing the harm associated with its consumption. And then look at here. This is Sweden. Look at this. 5.6% smoking.
Nobody wants to talk about that, Patrick.
Yeah, look at that. And then the rest of the EU, 23.5% smoking.
Largely ignored.
What's the difference here between Sweden and the rest of the EU, Kevin?
Well, the rest of the EU doesn't like snus.
The rest of the EU
correct.
has banished snus.
That's the word. Yeah.
So
they don't like that.
And Sweden has like the lowest cancer rates in the world, Kevin.
And 30 years ago, if you said, well, the women take this thing and they stick it in their mouth, and I'd be like, what?
Ooh, hey,
I had a gym teacher like that once, but then they have the lowest rates in the world, period. Of course, I didn't know what it was either, but
and they're almost at that smoke-free threshold. They're at 5.6. They're only 0.6 away from the general definition of smoke-free, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, the kids in the USA, did you hear the good news? They are. We got a smoke-free generation.
No, Kevin, because that video that we played earlier from the Vaping Militia approval post, that thing said that 10% of kids in school are vaping.
10% of 3%.
So I'm just 10% is what you're saying.
The Bruins lost. Look at that.
I saw it in a video. So So Dale's wife went to the Bruins game, but Dale stayed to hang out with us.
See, that's sweet.
I don't know. I mean, if I was around a professional hockey, I might have skipped out on you guys too. I'm just
I'm skipping out on you 3 or 4 weeks. I don't remember how long now. 2-3 weeks.
We'll figure it out. I have a substitute. I have a substitute, Kevin. Jason just needs to know in advance so that he can remain sober.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Or Paul, even if I can track Paul down. Either one.
I don't like you when I'm here, so I certainly ain't going to like you when I'm not. But I'll always like Jason.
He's got his Kevin, not Kevin name badge ready.
That's right. There should be a button. You should have buttons for that.
I should make badges. Kevin, not Kevin. And I need a Jason, not Jason, because when I appear on other people's shows, they call me Jason. So
is it Michelle or Mallory? Michelle, right?
What?
Michelle was on. Yeah, Michelle was on. Yeah.
On what?
On here. I like all of you guys better.
Michelle's been here. Yeah, Michelle substituted for you for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, all right.
And so did Addie. Addie came in for a little while too.
Oh, Addie, that's right, he did.
Yeah. Right. So this next thing is from two firsts, and apparently they had a chat with Brian King, FDA CTP nerd.
He's an epidemiologist. Show some respect.
He is an epidemiologist. No. Yeah. Brian King is. Yeah. FDA CTP Director Brian King, new guidelines on fines to be released this summer. So, according to Canadian media platform BNN Bloomberg, on May 14th, Brian King, director of the CTP at the FDA, stated that enforcement actions against illegal sales are escalating to crack down on unauthorized tobacco products, such as flavored disposable e-cigarettes. He mentioned that fines may increase for those selling illegal products. And here's a quote. We have already begun to ramp up enforcement actions said Brian King, director of FDA CTP, at an event in Washington, D.C. King added that the agency is developing guidance to increase fines for unauthorized tobacco product sellers, with new guidelines on fines expected to be released this summer, Kevin.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Altria recently called for the organization to take more action to combat disposable e-cigarette products manufactured in China that compete with its own authorized product, Enjoy. Yeah, we're going to definitely protect our market share by sicking government regulators on everybody else. The current maximum fine of $20,678 is considered too low compared to potential profits, making it unlikely that retailers will be deterred from selling unauthorized products. So, Kevin, who's our retailer that's still here? Is any of our vape retailers still in here? I think Vape Cats was here, but she's gone. I think or either that or she went silent. But I don't know of any vape retailer, Kevin, that is a specialty vape retailer. Peggy, are you still here? That would consider a $20,000 fine I would assume a $20,000 fine would deter Peggy significantly. And I know that when Skip was in the business, or our friend Mark was in the business, or Nick was Nick's still in the business, a $20,000 fine would be business crushing for most vape businesses.
You'd think.
Now, if you're a chain, I bet you $10, Kevin, if you were a chain gas station, convenience store company like Valero Stripes, or what the hell are 7-Eleven, or any of those businesses. Yeah. If you were an individual store in any of those chains, and you called corporate and said, "Hey, I just got a $20,000 fine," I promise you that's going to be deterrent for the big company. They're going to fire your ass, is what they're going to do.
I would think.
So I don't think of any retailer, even a big chain retailer, is going to be they're going to just write a check and say, "Oh, that's no big deal." $20,000 is a lot of fucking money, Kevin.
The first offense or the third offense, right?
Well, this is the maximum fine, so it would be it would be after multiple.
Within 6 months or a year. Yeah. Okay.
We know that on the first offense, you have to write a letter to the FDA explaining how you are going to correct your mistake.
That's right.
That is the standard first offense.
Yeah.
Hey, we're sending you a letter because we sent a kid in, and your counter people, named whatever, sold them nicotine product.
Yeah.
And this is a warning letter. You need to respond within blah blah blah, telling us how are you going to correct this problem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
this would be like number 5, $20,000 fine after the 5th infraction. I've never heard of an actual vape business being levied a $20,000 fine, because it never gets that far.
Right. Sternly worded letters are your phrase, are completely and totally true. However, is it interesting to you that Altria can persuade Brian King?
What do you mean?
Or is it automatic knowledge?
Well, Kevin, Altria is a large tobacco company who has been working for decades and decades with the FDA.
Yeah. Well,
and Brian King is the head of the Center of Tobacco Products at FDA.
Right.
So they've been working together Brian King has not been there for decades. Don't get me wrong. But
no, he's been there like 15
years. The FDA in general has been working hand in hand with tobacco for decades.
what happens is they pass along the relationship. Brian,
Of course.
this is our
I'm sure
friend.
Zeller said, "Hey, this is the guy that writes the check."
Yeah. So in the vein, after, if you prefer or not, I don't care. I just put something in that I saw from Reynolds American this week. I forgot to give to you. Anyway, it doesn't have to be covered, but I stuck it in the notes right there.
I saw that you just put it in the chat, but I can't really do anything with something in the chat, so I'm just gonna ignore it. But yeah, I mean, Kevin, don't be surprised that tobacco companies have like really productive relationships with FDA Center for Tobacco Products, because the Center for Tobacco Products is wholly funded. Kevin, their entire budget for that entire department of the FDA is funded by tobacco user fees paid for by big tobacco.
Well, consumers. I'm going to read it just so everybody knows. Reynolds says to everybody, evidently, we urge FDA tobacco to prioritize tobacco harm reduction and public health through increased transparency of the PMTA process without legitimate. That's fine. I know I can't share the damn screen. Without legitimate and science-based alternatives, the illicit market will continue to flourish. And I just didn't realize that nonprofit political front groups are not the only ones to urge federal agencies. That's all. It bothers me. Kevin's fan didn't blow a fuse. So if you guys go to that, you can see my smart-ass comments after it. It doesn't matter. But their agreement is that they're going to spend money to not give us our less harmful alternatives without their say-so. And that makes me really, really angry. What did he do? Fall? Where'd you go, George? Oh, by the way.
I just figured since you were, talking, I could just go get a, refill.
Just
underdog.
I'm 56 years old, and Janice found this the other day, and I was like, I was underdog when I was like 9.
Have no fear. Underdog is here.
And my uncle said one of the best quotes I ever saw on my Facebook page was, I thought I was underdog when I was a kid. And he said, no, you just wanted to have an excuse to wear tights and a cape. And that was funny. So I jumped off my bunk bed because I thought I was underdog with my cape, actually. And it didn't really work well. So
Kevin, I'm going to do something that you would never would have predicted that I would do.
Well, it'd be nice.
No. I'm going to share something.
Oh, God. All right.
On this show.
All right.
That you never would have predicted that I would have shared. What do you think it would be?
Your love of Nancy from the Heart Foundation.
No, this is a serious thing. I'm going to share like an article, like.
Oh, then I don't
know. From somebody that you would never have predicted that I would share.
Oh, I saw it. I'm not going to blow the surprise. I saw who you're.
So this week, Stan, this is from ProfessorGlands.com. Stan,
the underwear sniffing man.
Stan the Glands.
Professor Pufnstuf
is releasing an article about how Juul had identified what he calls thought leaders and rated collaborators in 2018. So Juul, now this is 6 years old, by the way. This is when Juul was not part of any big tobacco company. This is when they were just Juul. So
30 years behind.
Juul documents have been released so far containing an interesting Juul documents that have been released so far contain an interesting document. So if you click on the document, and it loads, this is it's a zip file. I'm not going to open the zip file. I don't trust you. But anyway,
that's where I stopped.
And there's a spreadsheet that contains several pages that suggest how Juul came up with it. So there's a list of of people. So current allies of Juul. So Dave Abrams from NYU, Ray Nyara from NYU, David Sweener, University of Ottawa, Sally Satel from Yale, Brad Rodew, Konstantinos Farsalinos, Clive Bates, Jeff Steyer, Carl Phillips, Dr. Pelosa, Neil Benowitz, Linda Baud, Martin Dockrell. We just actually shared some Martin Dockrell tweet just a few seconds ago. Deborah Arnault, and all the way down here. Greggy's on here. Joel Nitskin, Michael. All these people. These are all highly intelligent, well educated. Most of them are doctors, have PhDs, or have some sort of scientific credential. Carl's a PhD, Clive's a PhD, Konstantinos Farsalinos is a medical doctor, Brad Rodew, he's a smart dude, Sally Tatel, PhD, all of these are doctors. Of every one of this first group, Neil Benowitz, all the way down to Greg, and he's an attorney, so we won't hold that against him or anything, but
no, not purposely.
Yeah. Now I'm just upset, Kevin, that you and I did not make this list.
I'm tired of being in lists. I've been in enough.
Here's a list of current opponents.
Oh,
now this is the list of all the people that are our opponents, not that are Juul's opponents, that are our opponents. Stan, Matt, Robin. I don't even know who Moon Shang Tang is, but Simon Chapman, idiot. Dr. Tedros, idiot. Like all of these people, Brian King. Now I'm concerned about Brian. Oh, he was at the CDC. That's why he wasn't FDA at the time. He was still at the CDC.
Yeah.
So then apparently they gave everybody a rating based on based on how awesome they are at supporting tobacco harm reduction. They even put Kenneth Warner way down here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Yacht.
Dr. Siegel's up in there.
Yeah, Michael Siegel's an 8 out of 10. Clive is a 10 out of 10. Abrams, Nyara, Yacht, Sweener, they're all 10s.
Yeah.
But I just, this demented old fool is bringing up 6-year-old information, almost 7-year-old information at this point.
Yeah.
Because he's not relevant yet. But somehow people still listen to this coot. I'm just, all of these people. Look at this list of. This is like a murderer's row of like intelligence and
right,
tobacco harm reduction awesomeness.
He must not have had an assistant to ogle at, so he had something to do finally. Yeah.
Public health, awesome people right here, and then idiots. Everyone.
Are you upset that we're not on that list? Because we're probably on the list somehow.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. When I was the legislative director at the vaping militia, I was on an email list from every big tobacco company.
You shill.
No, they would feed us, like when I was writing the calls to action, they would feed me information about local calls to action.
Sure.
They had access to massive legislative software applications that I didn't have.
I want to be on Glance's list.
But the only way, if I do, it's still a zip file. I'm not. I
ain't downloading anything from Glance. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, nope. Don't care if I'm on it. Don't care.
Greg was happy that he was on the list. That's how I found out about the list, because I didn't pay attention. That's the only reason I found it. But I just thought it was funny that somehow he's deciding that now is the right time to bring this up. Juul is literally gone, Kevin.
Well,
but for some reason he is still on the Juul thing. Juul is done. They're out of gone. They're.
I'm going to explain it to you. His erectile dysfunction is finally, come to a head. And,
did you not see my tweet last week? I actually tweeted at him, and he didn't respond.
Well, I don't like you. I don't look at your tweets. I don't care.
Oh, I could have sworn.
I do have you. I'm notified when you do. If I see it, I do it. But I'm not trying to be cute. But I get a lot of notifications, and I don't pay attention to them all.
Yeah. Let me see.
It's at a.
Oh, did you notice the Kevin last week's
what?
Last week's show, I actually went back and did a supercut of just the misinformation stuff, and I posted that separately.
I did. I think I don't know if I retweet. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah. So here's my tweet from last week, and we did show this on the show. I do remember now, but this was, they say that nicotine is evil. They say that nicotine lowers IQ. They say nicotine is addictive. They say nicotine causes depression. But Professor Glantz says nicotine makes boys' underwear smell bad. And, I wonder how he found that out. He never responded.
Allegedly.
I have video of him talking about.
Oh, that's right. Fuck him. He thinks boys' underwear smells bad if they use nicotine.
Well, I mean,
which tells us all.
When I was a teenage boy, I'm sure that my underwear smelled bad because I was not the best
also
smells person in the world either.
Children's underwear who don't vape. So you've got to have the comparison for your study in order to talk about fucking kids' underwear and how to sniff them. Dr. Glantz.
Stanton glands.
Puffing stuff.
Yeah.
Fucking retard motherfucker.
Kevin's language.
Well, science confuses scientists because sniffy undies. Yeah, well, see. Yeah.
Now don't make him smell. Don't make him sound like Yoda.
The booties. Drop your drawers, boy.
What the hell?
Did you see Mallory's making her nicotine bitch or something like that? I don't know. I can't see.
She's making Tahir Turk her nicotine slave. Yeah.
Slave. I thought it was bitch.
No.
Is he still clowning? Oh my god.
But, so Kev,
what?
How would you like to say good night to all of our friends over here on YouTube before we transition over to the Rumble only portion of the show?
Well, not because of Patrick, but because of you. I'm still here because I don't feel well. I'm all stuffy and runny and just can't. Ugh. So I'm glad you guys were here. I always have fun with you, and keep being louder. That's it.
So you notice, Kevin, that we're streamlining the show. How everything's moving much faster.
Janice is appreciating that more and more. She's like, "Oh my God, you're up at 8:30." Because I love you, honey.
So, anyway, we have a couple things to go talk to you about over on the Rumble because they're more sensitive topics that YouTube might ding our channel for. So, I'm sorry if you're not a fan of the Rumble. I'm telling you will be. You will be. Jason thinks you have COVID, by the way. Oh shit! The show's already going to be canceled because I said that C word.
Allergies. I'm allergic to Patrick.
Anyway, we love you. Please go ahead and click on the link that I just put in the chat room. Follow us over to the Rumble only show because it's going to be a little bit more entertaining, and it won't be we've got non-vapey stuff to go talk about over there. Politics and AI and brain worms and Soros spending billions of dollars to silence people on social media. It's going to be, but you got to go over there to get it. That's the only place that you can get it. So anyway, let's play a little video piece. Kevin, you can go get your coffee and we'll be back in about 2 minutes or so. How about that? 2 minutes or so. Let me find a Let me find a 2-minute video that we can play here.
Chicken lung. Chicken.
I got fried chicken lung. Fried chicken lung.
Oh, Steve, that wins.
Yeah. I need to make some more videos. But anyway, here we'll play a couple different things.
I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the President to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack.
Well, this is the only way we're going to clear up bureaucracy and big government and unimportant branches that develop in order that a man can feel more important in his particular bureau.
But you've got some friends who are liberals.
I'm liberal.
Come on. You're liberal.
Of course. I understood liberal as, maybe I read the wrong dictionary, but I thought that a liberal was a man who would listen to everybody's point of view and then make up his mind what he was going to do. I made up my mind pretty fast, but I don't know of any of these so-called liberals that listen to anything but their own mouth. Pardon my...
During the question-answer session you did in 2004, you inserted that you hate smoking bans and seatbelt laws. Do you still hold these views?